Greetings, my friends, and welcome to our channel. Dennis here, and today I'm going to tell you about a German comedy movie called How to Be Really Bad. Enjoy watching and beware, spoilers ahead. Welcome to Hell, which is disguised as one of the high-rise buildings in Germany. Devil himself reigns here, also disguised as the ordinary person. The work is in full swing. Lilith, the devil's daughter, is not allowed to live among humans, and she doesn't want to learn how to use sins to divert people from the path to virtue. She ties her teacher up so that he doesn't disrupt her chatting on the computer. But her father is worried about her studies, so he asks questions to test her knowledge. For example, she has to tell what envy is. Lilith shows him a nice and expensive dress and says that her friends will certainly envy her when they see it and wish they had the same one, but since they don't have money for it, this will induce them to steal. Father is pleased with his daughter, but warns her that no magic can be used on humans. Lilith wants to be around people. She is bored of staying in hell, but her father is set against it. In his opinion, Lilith is too young for devilish work, so she has to wait for her 18th birthday. The same evening, Lilith asks her father to send her to live with humans for a year as a test. He agrees, but sets his own conditions. He chooses the place and the person for her test, and it will take just a week instead of a year. If she does everything right, he will allow her to stay with humans, and if not, she will be cramming her lessons with the teacher in the basement forever. Lilith agrees. Then Lilith and her father travel to a small town called Birkenbrunn. There he found a very nice family for her. Too nice, in fact. During the drive, they once again recount the story of Lilith's arrival. She came to see the school because her parents were going to move there. Also, there should be no close contacts, no compassion, only cold blood. Father gives Lilith a special ball, which indicates the temperature of her feelings, and says that it should always be black. Lilith meets family members, Mom, Sibylle Bernstein, who loves to knit, cook vegetables and hug, and Dad, Gabriel Bernstein. And the main object which Lilith counts upon, their daughter Greta Bernstein, who sings in the choir, loves to read and do housekeeping. Lilith sees how disgustingly cute they are. Everybody sits down to eat baked vegetables, raised by Greta's father, and discuss how he talks to plants so that they grow better. After everyone is full, it's time to clear the table, and Greta takes the plates. Lilith offers her help and deliberately throws the plates on the floor. While Greta's at a stand, Lilith tells her that it is all her fault and waits for Greta to get angry. But this doesn't happen. Moreover, Greta's mom and dad console her, saying that broken plates bring good luck. Then, Lilith and Greta go up to their bedroom in the attic, where Lilith starts asking questions about Greta's gals. How often does she lie? And does she use drugs and alcohol? While checking Greta's wardrobe, Lilith saw that one of the walls was pasted over with pictures of some guy surrounded by hearts. It turns out that Greta is quite a nice and exemplary girl, and Lilith doesn't see a way to make Greta angry and instigate her to do bad things. Lilith and Greta board the school bus. In the bus, Greta greets Daria and Melody, cool girls from her class, but in response, she hears, "Bug off, you stupid skank." Then she just takes a seat like nothing happened. Lilith doesn't understand why she tolerates such treatment. Then, Eddie, the principal's son, gets on the bus and puts gum on Greta's hair. Seeing this, Lilith snatches the perfume out from Melody's hands, takes it into her mouth, and sprays the perfume on Eddie's hair through the flame of a lighter. He just sits down, totally perplexed, and takes a cap from his friend to hide his scorched hair. All the other guys are completely stunned. When the bus is near the school, they see that all students are crowded at the entrance. It turns out that one of their classmates, Samuel, is sitting on the roof and smoking a cigarette like he's not gonna go anywhere. When the principal requests him to go down immediately, Samuel replies that he hasn't done smoking yet. After all, this wannabe parkour man descends from the school's roof, and everybody leave for their classes. At the lesson, the teacher hands out examination tests. Samuel uses his test to make an origami figurine and leaves the class, saying that to study is not his thing. Meanwhile, Lilith takes out a tablet to cheat off the answers. It's time to finish the test. Greta notices that Lilith copied the wrong answers. She abruptly rips the sheet from Lilith's hands and stuffs it into her mouth. Lilith is puzzled, but Greta says that she saved her. Greta and Lilith see a guy on the street, and the devil's daughter recalls the pictures in the wardrobe. This is the guy Greta has a soft spot for, and his name is Carlo. He's a school's heart stealer who works part-time as a DJ. Lilith approaches him with a request to seduce Greta, for which she will pay him well. She asks him to pretend that he loves her and then give her up in 3 days. Carlo walks up to Greta and strikes up a conversation. Meanwhile, Lilith meets Samuel in the alley and asks for a cigarette. Then, Eddie appears with his friends, claiming that Samuel has stolen his watch. Eddie orders his henchmen to go through Samuel's pockets, but Samuel dexterously jumps over the roof of a nearby house, so they can't get him. Lilith laughs out loud watching this, and Eddie commands his guys to grab her. With a devilish strength, Lilith pulls out a street sign and gives them a whipping, after which they run away shocked. The pals sitting in a street cafe nearby were laughing at all this, and Samuel presents the stolen watch to one of them, just to make Eddie mad. Samuel invites Lilith to have a quick bite, and while they eat delicious sausages, tells her that he wants to go to Berlin, and even already got a ticket. Lilith confides to him that she has never saw a sea. Samuel says that they could go to a chapel in the church and enjoy a beautiful view of the sea up there. Lilith states that she doesn't like churches very much, but agrees. They enter the church. Lilith feels quite uneasy there, but quickly runs along and ascends to the chapel. It's a really wonderful view of the sea up there, and Samuel, being affected by this view, kisses Lilith. She pushes him off and quickly runs away. Having come running home, all of a tremble, Lilith takes out her ball and sees that it starts to turn red. At this time, Father calls her to ask if the first day went well. In the background, Lilith hears that one of the employees working for her father has fallen in love and was instantly fired, because demons in love are no good. She learns for the first time that demons can fall in love too. Lilith shares with Greta that she was out with Samuel, and Greta reveals that Carlo asked her out on a date. Then we see a quiet, cozy evening. Mom knits, Greta plays with her younger sisters, and her dad reads a book. Sibyl offers Lilith to teach her to knit, but she only giggles mockingly in response. Then Mom says that she and Greta will have a knitting evening tomorrow, but Lilith lets out that Greta will go on a date. Greta's parents are happy for her and give her loads of advice, and Greta runs away to her room. Lilith follows her and says that she needs to prepare for the date, helps her do a makeup and hair, and put on a beautiful dress. Greta looks pretty cool, but realizes that her mom won't let her go to school like this. At this moment, a pebble flies into the window of their room. It's Samuel, who climbed onto the roof and is waiting for Lilith there. Lilith ascends to the roof to talk to Samuel about the kiss. Samuel begs her forgiveness. Eventually, Lilith gets mad and heads back to her room. Samuel shouts after her that she is so cute when she is angry, and he knows that she likes him. Lilith checks her emotions ball, and it is still red. Greta wants to go to school in that beautiful dress, but her mom catches her and does not let her to go like this. Lilith is indignant because Greta is an adult and can decide for herself what to wear, but her mother stands her ground and tells both of them to change their clothes. Girls have no choice but to put on modest dresses, which by the way were knitted by Greta's mother herself. They go to the school bus stop, talking, and at this time Eddie runs up to Lilith from behind and tries to set her hair on fire with a can and a lighter. Lilith makes a swing and strikes Eddie in the nose with her elbow. The girls get on the bus and talk about fashion. Greta wonders what it feels like to be the most fashionable girl, and Lilith says it's cool because everyone looks at you and wants to make friends with you. Greta breaks into a smile as she imagines that feeling. Lilith says she will help her to experience this. They get off the bus and Lilith loudly tells Greta to ask her mother for another dress and not give it to that famous singer. Daria and Melody hear this and barge in on the conversation. Lilith informs them that designer dresses made by Greta's mother became a real discovery at the Fashion Week in New York. Girls are walking around the school and Lilith asks Greta to pose for a photo. Greta stands still and photos are not very good. But then Carlo comes up and makes a compliment to her. Greta brightens up and starts to pose with more enthusiasm. At this time, Samuel approaches Lilith to ask her out on a date, but Lilith says that she is very busy. Lilith fabricates an article about Greta's mother and her dresses at the Fashion Week and shows it to Daria and Melody. She says that all the world-famous celebrities were at the show, and they snapped up all the dresses, but she can ask Greta to get hold of one. Daria and Melody begin to quarrel with each other to decide who will get this precious fashionable dress. A fire siren goes off at the school, and everybody runs outside. That is Samuel's work. He did this to see Lilith and invite her to go to the sea. Lilith agrees. Lilith rides a bicycle. Well, sort of, because she has not done this before. Up to Samuel, and they go to the sea together. Having arrived at the beach, Lilith sees the sea for the first time and cannot help but run knee-deep into the water. Lying on the beach with Samuel, Lilith receives a message on the phone from her father. He asks how many evil deeds she managed to do. Samuel thinks that Lilith has some problems, and she tells him that her father is very powerful. He keeps her locked in the tower and she has only a week to be around people. In response, Samuel says that if her father locks Lilith away in the tower again, he would surely come and free her. Then they kiss. Meanwhile, Daria and Melody are rehearsing a song for the annual school event, and Carlo is in charge of the music. Greta also comes to the rehearsal and gives advice to the girls so that they do not sing in unison, and Daria sings a little bit softer. Carlo finds out that Greta sings in the choir and invites her to join the girls to sing together. 3 girls sing and it comes up great. Their form teacher comes in and says that the principal is set against them singing at the school event because he saw their music video in short skirts and thinks this may be a bad example for juniors. The girls get very upset. Lilith and Samuel return from the beach, and Samuel invites her to have some ice cream. While he is buying it, Lilith sees how couples around them are smiling, hugging, and kissing. She is afraid that she starts to fall in love and just runs away. While Lilith is hiding behind some van to smoke a cigarette, Greta's father sees her. Lilith tells him that she wants to go to their place. They get into the van and drive home. On the way, they see Greta and Carlo, who are talking and are going to kiss. But at that moment, Greta's father drives up to them and offers Greta to take her home. Greta looks upset, but gets in the van, and her father realizes that he just ruined her first kiss. At home, girls are talking in their room. Greta is really frustrated because of the ruined date with Carlo, but she also suspects that Carlo is just playing with her. Lilith feels sorry for her. She regrets that she bribed Carlo. Greta sees Lilith's ball and asks what it is. Lilith says that it is just some kind of thermometer that her father gave her. Greta asks Lilith to go outside and help her collect the radishes, but Lilith refuses to help and just sits next to her. Lilith tells Greta about a dispute with her father, and also that they have no plans to stay in Birkenbrunn. On Saturday, Lilith will have to return home. She also states that she must do many evil deeds to be allowed to stay here. Lilith already loves this place, and Greta doesn't want Lilith to leave either. At school, Carlo tries to kiss Greta again, but this time, Lilith pushes him away and says that their deal is broken. Carlo replies that he is crushed on Greta without any deals. Carlo reveals the deal to Greta. Greta is shocked and tells Lilith to shove it. Lilith has nothing to say, except that she just needs to be evil. Lilith receives a message from Samuel. He is waiting for her on the beach, and she goes to him. On the beach, Samuel tells Lilith that he decided to stay here for her, stuffs his ticket into a bottle and throws it in the sea. But Lilith replies that their acquaintance and the time spent with him is the worst thing in her life. Then she goes away, leaving Samuel totally confused. Lilith boards the school bus and approaches Greta, but she turns away from her. Then Lilith tells Greta that she gave Samuel the elbow because she cannot be evil with him. She fell in love and her ball turned red instead of black. Greta realizes that Lilith doesn't want to be evil, but just can't admit it. Despite all this, Greta offers her help. The annual school party has begun. Lilith's father comes to school to visit his daughter and sits down in the hall to watch the concert. Lilith sees him and sits down by his side. Meanwhile, Melody and Daria sprinkle the itchy powder on the clothes intended for the quartet, which will be performing instead of them. The school principal delivers a speech on the stage and talks about his trip to Africa. The girls have replaced the photos for his presentation, and everyone in the audience is laughing at his nude pictures with monkeys and how he takes a pee next to the elephant. The principal quickly finishes his presentation and brings the music quartet to the stage, led by his son Eddie. But the quartet's performance also fails. The itchy powder did its job. The musicians are itching and flee from the stage. This is the finest hour for the girls, Greta, Melody, and Daria. With their fancy makeup and hair and short dresses made by Greta's mother, they perform on the stage with their song. The whole audience is blown away. Lilith's father cannot believe that his daughter coped with the test and congratulates her on being promoted to the position of a first-level employee. But before that, he asks her to show him the ball. Lilith realizes that now everything will go south, but suddenly the ball turned out to be black. Father asks Lilith in which city she wants to work now, and she says that she wants to stay here. He approves her choice and leaves. Greta runs up to Lilith asking how it went, and Lilith replies that she stays. They hug, but Lilith wonders why the school party turned into chaos. Greta admits that she invented all this, because what you won't do for a friend. Lilith shows her black ball, and Greta says she just painted it with a nail polish. Greta returns to the concert hall, where her parents are slightly shocked by her new image. Then she runs up to the stage and they finally kiss with Carlo. Lilith needs to find Samuel as soon as possible. The pals in the street cafe say that he went to Berlin. Lilith runs at top speed to the station, meets Samuel there and confesses her love to him. Samuel reciprocates her feelings and they kiss. I hope you enjoyed the recap and will give me a like. Write down in the comments what movies you'd like to see on the channel and click on these pictures to watch other recaps. And I'll see you soon.